Curious what trends you can expect from K-beauty this year? Well, guess what? You're in the right place because I am doing my yearly trend predictions for the K-beauty world today. I have been doing these since 2017 when I still had an active blog. It's kind of still active, not as much as it used to be, but I am now doing yearly videos and I'm quite excited to share my predictions for the trends to be expected in K-beauty in 2024 today. In case you don't know me yet, hi, my name is Ulrike. I am a K-beauty and skincare content creator and have done this since 2015-16, so a long time. And I'm really happy to have you with me on the skincare journey, and today a little bit of a journey into the future of K-beauty in 2024. As I've said, I've been doing these predictions since 2017. Now I have to say I'm not an industry insider or anything like that. I don't work in the industry. I'm really just a blogger and freelance content creator. However, what I usually tend to do throughout the year is really kind of jot down any sort of trends or similarities in products or ingredient trends that I see. And then I kind of just follow them and see if they keep on getting sort of hotter and hotter. And that's kind of what I base my prediction on for the next year. So basically just what I've seen throughout the previous year and what I think will still be relevant, or stuff that picks up throughout the second half of a year. Now for 2024, the main thing that I can already say is that I don't actually think we will be seeing a lot of super new stuff. This is something that I've been seeing in the Korean beauty world for a while now. I want to say since the pandemic. It's kind of slowed down a bit in terms of really new stuff or really new viral stuff. What is happening more, I find, at this point is that specific products or specific ingredients or specific trends keep on being developed into even more of an extreme trend in a way. There are a couple of examples in the 5 trends that I want to talk about. The first one I will talk about in a second is, for instance, retinol and sort of low dosage retinol in products. That already started in 2021, 22, but now they really put retinol in everything. And I mean everything. So I feel it's more of a specialization and a stronger, even stronger focus on trends and ingredients and product categories that have been around for a while. There's nothing really super new that I'm seeing. I'm sure there's all sorts of super innovative stuff that I don't know about because I'm not involved in any industry product development, but just from a consumer side, what I've been seeing the past years is really that the trend machine has slowed down a little bit, and there's a lot more rehashing and recycling of old trends, which is not a criticism on my part. It's just something that I'm noticing. It's just a neutral observation. But that means that the trends that I'm talking about today are not new trends. They are just kind of a continuation of stuff that has been going on for a while. Dewy skin will still be on trend. I've seen a couple of Western makeup influencers saying matte skin is gonna be the trend this year. I don't think so. I think the quote-unquote glass skin look, that is actually not a term that the Koreans themselves use. They usually talk more about chukchuk, which is more kind of hyper-hydrated skin. That then reflects the light from the hydration levels. That's why it looks kind of quote-unquote oily to us Westerners a little bit, but that is still the ideal, certainly in Korea, but also I think still is going to be trending in the West, especially for younger people, because usually the younger people, the teenagers, have just discovered this. Glasting has been around since 2018-19, but TikTok has just discovered it. So I think this will still be the main thing. Glossiness, dewiness, and just a general stronger focus on stuff that was already trending in 23 and 22. Okay, I've talked enough and let's get into the first trend. So I have a lot of notes for today. So I have my trusty notebook here. because I cannot remember all of what I've written down. So the first trend that I want to talk about, and I have to be careful how I'm presenting it to not give a wrong impression, because there's a bit of a myth connected to it about Korean beauty that is actually not correct, is that low dosage, and I mean low dosage retinol is now being put in literally every product imaginable. And I mean truly every product. It's of course in creams and in ampoules and serums, but it's also in sheet masks, toner pads, pimple patches, toners. We have a retinol toner. It's in everything. And that is kind of a new thing. What isn't new, however, is the use of retinol in Korean skincare, period. It used to be more of a, from how I understand it, it used to be more of a an anti-aging thing, and only older women, so my age, you know, older, middle-aged, mature women used to get specific targeted retinol serums and treatments, pretty much the same as here in the West. But now it's becoming more of a drugstore and younger people targeted trend. And I would say that is the new part of it. What is also new is certainly that, again, it's just being put in everything now in a way that I actually find a bit... I'm not a scientist, so science-based influencers will be a better source for this, and I don't want to say anything wrong. But to me, this is a strange one, because what use can retinol have in a sheet mask? What use can retinol have in a one-use product? Because retinol only works if you use it over a long period of time. Also, what use can a retinol product have that is such a low dosage that it's nearly, that it's barely there in the product? We're talking something like 0.0000015%. I'm not exaggerating. That's usually sort of the dosage that you get. Well under 0.01%. I don't know. Again, maybe it will do something, but a lot of it seems a little bit hypey and a little bit strange. But on the other hand, as a woman over 40, whenever I see a product with retinol, I kind of go, ooh, I gotta try that. So I guess the marketing works on me. For instance, I bought these these retinol containing toner pads from Mediheal, which are quite interesting, because they also have a specific shape that is supposed to help tighten your skin when you apply them. I don't know, I've tried them. I'm not convinced by them, to be honest. I don't see any special thing that they do. They're hydrating, and that's nice, but I don't think they're doing anything magical for my wrinkles, unfortunately. But that's kind of the sort of product that I mean with the low retinol trend. It is just being put in all sorts of quote-unquote pore care products that target more the younger audience that just want an overall improvement of the texture of their skin and more of an age prevention versus a really targeted, strong anti-aging product. For that, you have the higher concentration retinol ampoules and creams and serums that have been around for much longer than this newer, more drugstore-based trend. But I do think we will see so many more retinol products. Apart from these Mediheal pads, which are very, very popular, and I'll talk about toner pads and their new resurgence and renewed popularity as well today. We also have a Mediheal sheet mask with retinol and LHA, and Rom&nd has brought out a retinol toner. Bioheal BOH, which is an Olive Young brand, has brought out a vitamin retinol repair micro spot, one of those microneedle patches that you supposedly can apply to wrinkled or large pored areas, and then overnight it will release the retinol. Again, very low dosage retinol, but supposedly it then magically, I don't know, makes your skin smooth. Again, I am just very unsure about this trend. Having said that, there is a low dosage retinol product that has completely blown me away last year, and I have talked about it in my favorites video. my favorite moisturizer video, and it's the INNISFREE Retinol Cica Barrier Defense Cream. That one only has 0.015% retinol, but I really have seen a vast improvement in my skin from it. So I don't know, maybe there is something about these products. The other thing that I am kind of unsure about is if it's such a good idea to have all these different retinol products, let's say 5 or 6 different ones, and you use them all in a routine. Ultimately, you don't know how much retinol cumulatively you are using. It just all seems a little bit strange to me. If you want to try retinol, using one of these products, preferably a serum or a cream, for instance, the INNISFREE cream, is potentially a good idea because you can just see what it does for you. But if you are very serious about retinol usage and you are more my age and really want it for stronger anti-aging effects, then I would go with a higher dosage product and only focus on one specific product that then can give you better results. It might be a little bit harsher on the skin, but it will also be more effective. But yeah, retinol in all sorts of products, you will see more of this throughout 2024, 100%. And the next trend I want to talk about is, again, not new, more of a re-emerging. Not that these were ever gone from the beauty market, but they certainly have become more popular. And now everyone is just hyping them up. And it's multi-purpose toner pads. The brand that really kicked this off, and I already mentioned them, is Mediheal. Mediheal brought out these more sort of maxi toner pads that aren't small and round, but rather square and quite large. They brought out quite a lot of different ones, and I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, I have 2, 4, and those aren't even all the ones that they have. I'm kind of have this ambition to maybe get all of them and then review them all together in a video. We'll see. They're quite expensive, so maybe I'll also just stick to the 4 that I have. Not all of them have convinced me, but that's another story. As a general trend, Mediheal really has just managed to become so successful with this toner pad range. They are everywhere, and they really have become hyper bestsellers. The most popular one is certainly the Madecassoside one, which I have here. This one is supposed to be for more oilier skin, and Mediheal is more of a younger skin brand, even though I, at my nearly 45 years, next week's my birthday, God. With my nearly 45 years, I still really like them. My favorites are actually the enzyme ones. Those are fantastic. And I think the reason why they're so successful and such a huge trend is because they are larger sized than previous pads, which were always a little bit flimsy. And these ones you can really work very well with, not just to wipe your face, but also as a mask treatment. And this is kind of the newer thing. It's not, again, not super new. People have been doing this before, basically putting the toner pads on certain areas of their skin and then letting them soak for a couple of minutes. But now this is consciously used as a marketing argument to buy these pads. And of course, to also buy a variety of these pads, because you can, for instance, use the retinol ones on your forehead wrinkles, and then you use the collagen ones on your cheeks to get extra hydration. So you can multi-mask really easily, and more easily than you would do with a sheet mask. Mediheal is certainly the absolutely dominating force when it comes to these toner pads, these maxi multi-purpose toner pads. But a couple of other brands are also now bringing out larger toner pads in their toner pads range. I've seen, for instance, Bioheal bring out square ones, larger ones, Derma and Numbuzin. I didn't bring them with me. They're still on my vanity. I forgot. Numbuzin brought out a very popular square, not as large, but still a slightly larger toner pad called the No. 5 Plus Vitamin-Niacinamide Concentrated Pads. These have been absolute bestsellers. I've used them. I don't actually think they're that great. I might do a video on them because I don't quite understand the hype. But Numbuzin, certainly another brand that is very on trend, and they're very savvy with picking up on trends. So I would say those larger size, square, multi-purpose, multi-masking toner pads will remain a massive trend throughout the year. We will absolutely see more of these. Another trend in skincare and makeup that I've been seeing a lot of, again, not new. I feel Korea was always quite good about this, but I think they're just becoming more and more conscious about this. As a German, I'm really happy to see it because it's something that I see a lot in my country as well. And that is a really strong focus on sustainability and eco-friendliness. Now, some of that is greenwashing. It's the same in my country because it's still consumption, and consumption can never be quote unquote clean. It's just something that, yeah, we all wrestle with, I find, in a capitalistic society that encourages us to spend. And of course, as someone doing videos on things to consume, it is always in the back of my mind, and I don't know how to solve this for myself. I do think small changes are still changes, so I still think this is a good trend overall. What I've seen a lot lately is that even the larger brands that weren't that keen or that focused on sustainability are now bringing out more refills, more sort of reduced packaging, or packaging that is more readily recyclable or more easily recyclable. You can remove the labels. The outer packaging is made out of recycled paper, things like that. They use soy ink for the printing so that it can be biodegradable. One of the brands that has really, or brand conglomerates that has really been doing this quite consciously and quite actively is Amore Pacific, the LANEIGE Cream Skin Cerapeptide Cream Skin Refiner. Cream Skin Cerapeptide Refiner, that's the name. I did a whole video review on this one if you're keen and interested. And this one actually came with a refill option so that you don't have to buy this entire bulky packaging again. And the labels are easily removed, and it is printed with soy ink, etc., etc. And they are doing this quite a lot now with all the reformulated, repackaged Amore Pacific products all across the Amore Pacific brand family. There's also a number of small indie brands that are becoming really, really popular in Korea. And part of their popularity is the eco-friendliness. Toon 28 comes to mind. Of course, Aromatica. And Aromatica has been at the forefront of sustainability for a really long time, many, many years now. They have a flagship store in Seoul where you can bring your empty bottles and they recycle them for you, or you can even refill them. They have refilling stations. And all of their packaging is also eco-friendly. They also sell soap bars and shampoo bars. This is another big thing that I'm seeing in Korea. Has been a trend here in Germany as well, that you have, instead of a shower gel, you have a shower bar, which means all of the outer packaging, of course, falls away, and you just have the tiny square soap that you can just keep. Here in Germany, they even sell little what is it? Like a mesh bag where you can put your soap in, and then you can hang it up in the shower so that it can dry properly and doesn't get, that weird soap scum all over it. There's a whole industry around sustainability here in Germany, and this is what I see strongly happening in the Korean beauty industry as well. This next trend is a makeup trend, and I've already mentioned it at the beginning of the video, unless I'm editing that out, but probably not. And it is the hyper glossy lip. For a long time, matte lip tints were the rage, the absolute hyper trend in Korea. These still exist. It's not as if they've been completely replaced. These trends kind of work parallel to each other, I would say. They're not, one doesn't replace the other, but I do see more glossy lips lately than matte ones, I would say. It's the same with makeup. There are all sorts of new matte cushions coming out, but I still would say the dewy trend is the more dominant one. What is a more recent and newer part of that trend is that it's almost becoming more extreme. You don't just have glossy lip tints, you have hyper glossy, more balm style, Vaseline textured, tinted and untinted products that are just now absolutely just the most massive trend. The number one product here that kind of kicked off the trend, or certainly shapes the trend, is this one. I have one of them. I kind of want more because they are quite good, I have to say. I'm quite into these. And it's from Rom&nd. And it's the Glasting Melting Balm. These have been ultra successful. They also come in all sorts of different colors. The one I have here is Cocoa Nude, which is just this beautiful, barely there sort of almond butter colored shade that I really like. They look very natural, and of course, because they're so glossy and really do have almost a Vaseline texture, they also feel just very comfortable on the lips throughout the day because they ultra moisturize versus the lip tints that are more matte, which usually suck out all the moisture. So they do give you that more plump look that, of course, especially to Koreans, signifies youth and youthfulness, which is always the number one goal of any Korean, to look youthful for as long as they can. Most large name makeup brands in Korea, certainly the ones available at Olive Young, have also started to bring out their own, again, super glossy lip balms. They already had those glossy lip tints that are more like lip glosses, but now it's all about those even glossier balms. DASIQUE brought out these little cuties. This one I just got. I actually filmed an unboxing that I haven't uploaded yet. That's going to come out soon as well. Or maybe it already has. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to release first, to be honest. Just filming ahead a little bit. This is the DASIQUE Fruity Lip Jam. These are also extremely popular. DASIQUE also brought out the DASIQUE Melting Candy Balm, which I haven't tried yet. Cleo just brought out the Crystal Glam Balm, which I also haven't tried yet. And Peri also has lip balms. Wake Make has a whole range of these lip balms. It's just this huge thing. The way that influencers in Korea usually wear these is they combine them with a lip pencil. These lip pencils are also a really big trend. They are thicker than the ones that you usually get in the West, which are more these pencil style ones. And they come in all sorts of more nudie colors that work really well with these glosses. So they just line their lips, and usually they overline the Cupid's bow, which I tried this. Does not look good on me. Maybe this is also more of a young people trend. I don't know, maybe my lip shape is just weird, but this does not work on me at all. Overlining my lips always looks really stupid when I do it, or maybe I'm just not skilled enough. It could be any of these, but yeah, that trend, not for me. But just so you know, overlining your lips and especially overlining your Cupid's bow is kind of the thing to do at the moment in Korea. And then you combine it with one of those glossy balms that you put all over the lip and especially in the middle of the lip. And then you have these super juicy, super dewy lips in very neutral and very beautiful colors. That is the trend that I'm seeing and have been seeing for a while. I don't really think that will stop. I think more and more brands will bring out these balm style products. But it's not just tinted hyperglossy lip balms that I'm seeing a lot of. It's also untinted, more lip care products that are also now all about the glossiness and the plumping. One brand conglomerate in particular has been really drumming up a lot of PR and marketing hype around a new, supposedly super new and innovative lip care formula. And those are the Lipcerin lip balms from the LG brand conglomerate. What's happening is that LG is basically, they have developed the Lipcerin base formula, which is a Vaseline style glycerin containing lip balm that supposedly is the most suited one for Asian lips. I don't know if Asian lips are so different from non-Asian lips, but according to LG, they need very special care. And their Lipcerin formula was based on studying the photographs of, how many was it? I wrote it all down because I read a whole article about Lipcerin. They analyzed the lip image of 57,000 East Asians. And supposedly based on this, they brought out this lip formula that is the most amazing, it will solve all your lip problems formula, according to LG, that is. They really put a lot of work into this formula, which I think is why they are now hyping it up so intensely. They said that it took 5 years to develop the Lipcerins and that they really just wanted to solve all the main issues you have when it comes to lip care. It's a pretty big and ambitious promise. The Lipcerins have been released one by one, and I think some are probably still coming out, all across the brand portfolio of LG. And the base formula is always the same one, and then they enrich it basically with the key ingredients that fit within the brand. For instance, the Beyond one, which is a more hydrating brand and more younger brand. This one has extra hydrating ingredients, C and P. It was released in the propolis range, so it's enriched with propolis. The Glint one, which is the one that I have, Glint is a makeup brand, so they enriched it with a slight tint and some glitter to make it more, more like one of those tinted balms. And what other ones do we have? Those are the ones I can think of at the moment. Belif is also one. As I said, every single LG brand will get its own Lipcerin. They've also developed a specific special container that basically works like a wheel. I don't know if you can see that, or I might have to show a close-up, but you can basically turn it like so, and then the product comes out here and squirts out, and it's supposed to be more hygienic and easier to apply. As I said about the Glint one, and I have to say, I don't really like it. I'm so sorry. LG, I see that you put a lot of work into your formula. I'm sure it's very revolutionary, but as a consumer, just using it, but also looking at the ingredients, it's kind of just a lip balm. Guys, it's just a lip balm. And I can't say that it's a lip balm that has completely been wowing me. The Glint one, at least, is very sticky and not that great to feel. I have a thing about lip balms that I often get annoyed with them. I have a lot of texture issues. This is one of the reasons why I always think I might be neurodivergent. Because certain textures, especially on the lips, they make me just feel so uncomfortable. And this one is one that made me feel really uncomfortable because of its stickiness. And also because it has that menthol feel to it, where it's kind of like tingly and prickly. And it felt almost like it burned a little bit. So yeah, this one, the other formulas might be better. Someone said on Instagram that apparently was it the Belif one, I think, that she tried is much, much better. The Glint one, I don't understand the hype at all, to be honest. If you want a really good Korean lip balm without as much marketing hype, no 57,000 pictures were analyzed for that one, but it's cheaper and I also think much, much better, is the Torridon one. The Torridon Lip Essence, to me, best lip balm I've tried. But yeah, the Lipcerins, the Vaseline style everyday lip balm, so not just an overnight balm, but to be used during the day. So it's different from the LANEIGE sleep mask. These ones, I think a lot of brands will likely copy the Lipcerins because the Lipcerins are being very successful in Korea, and they have a great marketing story around them. Whether or not it's a marketing story that sways me to like the product, I don't know. I just I'm not 100% convinced. And the last trend I want to talk about for 2024 is also, again, not new. I mean, I've preempted this at the beginning of the video, that most of these trends are just continuous trends, because I feel a lot of trends have slowed down. This one, I feel, is just getting more extreme, similar to the more and more the glossier and glossier balms. This is becoming a quite intense makeup trend that I feel does only work if you're very young. I think this one is also for the young people. But maybe some young people are actually watching my channel. I always feel my audience is probably older because I don't make short videos, but this is kind of for the teens and 20-somethings. And it is what I just called, couldn't really find a name for it, but I just called it blush sculpting. You might have noticed this when watching K-drama or seeing certain K-pop idols, that the blush placement in Korean makeup at the moment is quite noticeably different from the Western one. Western blush usually is kind of placed here, or potentially sort of here to sculpt the face. In Korea at the moment, and this has been going on for, I want to say, 2-ish years. The first time I noticed it was in the K-drama, I think it was called Business Proposal, where it was very strongly used to show the naivety and the youthfulness and the purity, quote unquote, of the main female character. She doesn't wear her blush here, but kind of here, in this triangle here. And it's very strong as well. So you kind of put it here and sometimes even draw it out down to the mouth. And you really have this strong, strong pop of blush color in this area. Sometimes they even draw it right underneath the eyes as well. And this is also why you can see that this only works when you're young, because if I were to do that, this is where I have the most sun damage and the most wrinkles. Not an area where I want a pop of color. There are usually two ways that this trend is being used by makeup artists from Korea. Either they go for this really vivid pop of color here. They do this a lot with K-pop idols, with very young actresses, because again, I think it just signifies sort of youthfulness and freshness and also purity, because whether we like it or not, that is something that is seen as very appealing. And of course, it also plays into that whole aegyo sort of cutesy image of younger idols and actresses. And then they usually use more sort of vivid berry colors to really make it really pop. And it looks, I guess, as if you're kind of blushing, maybe. I think that's what it's supposed to evoke. Or they use really more natural, barely there, more sort of a natural flush after a day outside colors that blend out really naturally and beautifully. And this is also where the sculpting part of the trend comes in. I've seen this from 2 makeup artists that do a lot of idol makeup. Sorry, my battery died, so this is much later. Just in case you're wondering about the lighting change. So sculpting blushes, I probably ended it mid-sentence, so I'm not sure I'm going to edit it. Basically, the makeup artists use 3 different shades. A very vivid one that they put right here, and then they use 2 other shades to blend out and sculpt out that pop of color to make it more more blended and a little bit more natural. So they use a more vivid, usually berry shade, and then more of a neutral, almost warm toned bronzer shade, plus a very light, more milky pink shades. That's what I've seen, and that's what I think will stay a very relevant makeup trend. You see it on all the big names in the industry. Again, more the younger actresses, I would say. And blushes are really booming as well in Korea. The #1 blush that is so popular specifically for this trend is this one, the Rom&nd, what are they called? Rom&nd Better Than Cheek blushes. This is the one in the color, oh, it doesn't say here. what was the color I got? I will put it somewhere down there. And these are really fantastic. I really want more colors of this because I was really impressed with the blendability and how super natural they look. They're not hyperpigmented, but I do think they're much better pigmented than I expected after seeing a couple of English-speaking reviewers on TikTok talk about them. I do think they have really good pigmentation. I don't think there's a lot of need for lighter shades being hyperpigmented. I think it's important for the darker shades because those are usually used for the more vivid, stronger colors, because those are more used by people with darker skin and they need the pigmentation so that the blush can really pop and look delicious. But these kinds of colors, you know, the more blush tones, pastel colors, are usually used on people with my skin tone, and for those it looks actually kind of silly if it's too pigmented. I find you have to blend it out like crazy. These work very well to just give you a very natural flush, and I really love them. And the other blush that is so popular in Korea and has been for years and years is the Clinique Pop blush, the ones that look like a flower, the round, small round ones. Those are so popular. I don't even know if they still sell them here in Germany. They probably still sell them in the US, I'm imagining. In Korea, you get all sorts of colors. They keep winning the #1 spot in the Olive Young Awards. And also, I believe in Powder Room, they're also very popular. Just a super popular blush. The Dior blush is also very popular. Dior in general is a very popular brand in Korea. The Dior highlighter palette is also pretty much every single celebrity makeup artist uses that one for highlighting. So they do like their Western brands when it comes to makeup. The Korean blushes for me are much better than Western ones. I really love Korean blushes. Wake Make has really good ones as well. Free has a really good one. DASIQUE has a really great blush palette that would work very well for the sculpting trend. So if you want to try this trend, I would give Korean blushes a try as well. This trend, not for me, but if you're younger or if you have the right face shape, I think it can look really interesting and cute. And those were my trend predictions for K-beauty in 2024. As I've said, the main thing to take away is really that I don't think that much will change. I think most of the products that Koreans use and love will stay the same. Same here in the West. I'm assuming they will still go for the Cosrx Snail Mucin, the Anua Toner, and all of the other products that have been all the rage, especially on TikTok. TikTok will remain, I think, the #1 PR and marketing channel for K-beauty here in the West. I have mixed feelings about this, but that would also be its own video. So I won't put it in my outro. I think we will just see a lot of the same stuff we saw in 2023, but just more of it. And so that was kind of my overall prediction for the year. Let me know if you've tried any of these trending products or categories already, maybe the toner pads, maybe the glossy balms, or even the Lipcerins. Listen, if you've tried some of the other Lipcerins, let me know how you feel about them, because that to me was the floppiest of the trends. I really did not like my Glint Lipcerin. If you're new here, welcome. It would be great if you could stick around, and I do a video every week, so I will do a new one next week. And until then, please take care. Bye.